Let's do a little video review. So this is Mileena by McFarlane Toys from their Mortal Kombat Classics line. And Mileena is probably the character I've wanted the most ever since I got this MK11 Shao Kahn that is very, very customized. And my custom Shang Tsung. This is a Blue D Sculptures head sculpt that I picked up from eBay. And it's obviously based on Karihiro Kitagawa from MK11 and the first Mortal Kombat movie. So with that, I needed Mileena to complete kind of like the Shao Kahn evil henchman trio, I guess. I know that's not like a perfect descriptor for it, but I guess I also kind of need Sindel. But in short, I've always really, really wanted Mileena because I love her. And I gotta admit, the Mortal Kombat 2 design is not my go-to for Mileena. This is her debut costume, and it's very plain, very kind of going to an aerobics class, and it doesn't really tell anything about the character. Personally, I am a big fan of her MK11 and her MK10 designs. I think I'm kind of leaning a little bit more towards MK11 just because I kind of really like that shinobi style she's got going on. My first Mortal Kombat was actually Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3, which it kind of has a similar costume to this, but this part here in the middle is open and she's got like a kind of corset, open corset thing going on. It's better than this, but it's not particularly great either. So let's get started. She is about 17 and a little bit more centimeters and just shy of 7 inches. The camera is kind of distorting it a little bit, but she's definitely over 6 3/4. So another thing, this is straight up a repaint of the katana they released from the same line, and it's kind of apt because Mileena in the game is just a palette swap of katana. But there are several things that I don't like. I don't like that the eyes are just regular human eyes. I know this is how it is in the old games because, you know, like I said, palette swap. But if you want Mileena to look kind of more like Mileena, you can use this alternate head that is included, and the hair pieces just swap out like this and on like so. And this is pretty much a perfect way to do an interchangeable head and save the extra money on the sculpt for the hair, I guess, if that's what McFarlane was after. This looks really good. This is also like a little bit late because I did repaint the eyes. Originally, her eye whites were just kind of like yellowish as well, and there was no real distinction between like the iris and the whites and everything. So I made like a little black outline for the eyes and added a little bit of orange to them so they wouldn't look so boring, essentially. And yeah, I really, really like how she turned out. The sculpting on the teeth is really, really good. I think this very harsh red is kind of pulling back the sculpt a little bit. I feel like it should be pretty stark in contrast, but it should also blend itself into the skin a little bit more. So I'm gonna repaint this at some point because I do want to give her a new body as well.
Also, this is totally MK11 Mileena.
Articulation-wise, she is alright. She has a butterfly joint here that is, I mean, it's not terrible. It's not particularly useful, but it's there. She's got a nice swivel here, nice paint speck here. Good job, McFarlane. Double jointed elbows that surprisingly from McFarlane doesn't look terrible. And he's got a joint up here. Very, very good range of motion, except forward. She doesn't crunch forward at all, essentially. Her wrists are kind of, instead of a round ball joint like they usually do, this one is a little bit more form-fitting to the forearm. And it hinges up and down, and it doesn't seem to rotate. So you can't do the in and out hand movement, but I don't really see why, because this is far more useful, especially since she's holding side blades. Then you go down to the legs. They don't have a thigh swivel, but they have nice up and down movement. They go out like this. And in typical McFarlane fashion, there usually is like there's a slight swivel here, but it's aesthetically pretty good, but I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty useless. So, you know, it's either this or this. So she has double jointed knees. Once again, surprised they don't look terrible, because usually McFarlane has like a huge crevice here, and you can catch her thumb in it and it really hurts. And then her feet goes up and down, and they have like a bit of a ankle rocker here, and then she has a toe joint. Aesthetically, I don't like these feet. I think they look really... It almost looks like platform shoes. They look really big. And overall, aesthetically, It's good for what they were going for, but it doesn't make for a particularly interesting action figure. For accessories, she comes with fists, and they are pretty difficult to swap, but the joint here is pretty thick, so I don't think that they're gonna break or anything. They look alright, but I don't really see why you would ever give Mileena fists, really. And the joint came off. Fortunately, it didn't break, but again, man, I don't like McFarlane toys. Todd is like the most inconsistent toy manufacturer on the planet. Nothing is ever consistently good. It's just kind of consistently what? Like this Mileena figure and Kitana, since, like I said, it's the same body sculpt, isn't even the same height as the previous Kitana they made, so ugh. But anyway, she comes with a couple more accessories as well. She comes with 2 sets of Sai. She has these kind of like astral energy Sai, because in the game she has a move where she kind of like shoots out Sai blades. And then she comes with these more solid, very plain, very silver Sai, and they kind of look like trash. They could have had more paint on them, especially here at the handle. I'm not really sure what they look like in the game. So after googling it, they may be completely silver in the game as well, but I think some black wrapping here would look far better than this, because this just looks kind of bland and boring. Finally, her last accessory is a Sub-Zero figure, because McFarlane Toys hates us, and whenever they have a popular character that hasn't been made before, they have to include them in a 2-pack. Hasbro does the same thing, and it's the scummiest thing, business practice you can think of, and it sucks because I don't give a crap about this Sub-Zero figure. I'm probably going to sell him, but he comes with some neat effects. He has like a skull here that's frozen, along with a spine. He has a spine alone, and then he comes with 2 icy gripping hands and an alternate head. But who cares? Except for that the paint job here is actually really nice. It's got some really nice dry brushing here. Like, you see how it's kind of like frosted over almost. I really like this. But otherwise, no interest for this Sub-Zero at all. So, finally, we have Mileena, I guess. But there are several things that I want to do with this figure. First of all, I'm planning on putting her on maybe like this body here instead. And if we go a straight swap, it doesn't... I mean, it kind of works, but I think that this hairpiece just makes her head a little bit too big. So if we remove this and maybe... I had an idea here. So this is one of the Stepford cuckoos, and this is very similar to her hairstyle in MK11. And I think if I get rid of the ear and change the fringe a little bit, I can get pretty close to that. Maybe do some resculpting here, because she has like a parting in the fringe in the game. And then I would have to figure out a way to make some clothes for her as well, because I think this is a really good base body for her. And lining it up with Shang Tsung, she's like the same height as Shang Tsung, so I think that'll be perfect. But yeah, that's going to be a video for another time. I just kind of wanted to quickly speed through this Mileena review. And I also had another idea where I think this veil here is a separate piece. So maybe I can hollow this out and have it so that I can put it on here. That would be pretty cool. So yeah, thank you for watching. And hopefully in the near future, I will make an update about Mileena. Bye! So I did some heating up, and I know this is post-review, but I just thought it would be interesting. You see, this is how this face mask is... oh, it's really, really hot. Is attached. It's just a separate piece, and you can just peel it off like this after heating it up for a while. You can kind of get an idea of this is what it would look like. I really like how this looks.
Come, let us be a family. A million souls cried out for my return.